What if a professional football star, worth millions, loved by fans, and known for scoring goals, turned out to be the mastermind behind one of Europe's biggest drug smuggling operations? And what if he finally got caught after years on the run? This is the latest chapter in the unbelievable story of Quincy Promes, former Ajax and Spartak Moscow star, now behind bars in the Netherlands. And trust me, the story just got even darker. Welcome to Dutch Crime Files. Extradition to the Netherlands. After years evading Dutch justice, Quincy Promes was finally extradited from the United Arab Emirates to the Netherlands in late June 2025. Dutch prosecutors confirmed on June 20th that the 33-year-old former Ajax and Spartak Moscow forward was taken into custody to serve prison sentences for drug trafficking and assault. Promes had been convicted in absentia of complicity in smuggling 1,300+ kilograms of cocaine, worth tens of millions of euros, through the port of Antwerp in 2020, resulting in a 6-year prison term. He was also convicted and sentenced to 18 months for stabbing his cousin in the knee at a family party, a 2020 incident over a stolen necklace. Both sentences, totaling 7.5 years, were handed down while Promes remained abroad, but he denied all charges and filed appeals in both cases. The UAE, which has an extradition treaty with the Netherlands, unlike Russia, detained Promes during Spartak's Dubai training camp in early 2024. He was released on bail in Dubai under travel restrictions, even playing for a local club, Dubai's United FC, through the 2024-25 season. On June 12, 2025, Promes was arrested again at his Dubai home, and on June 20th, he was flown to the Netherlands on a specially chartered jet under guard. Dutch authorities also revealed they had seized 9 of Promes' properties, worth about 10 million euros, in Amsterdam, Utrecht, Almere, and Abcoude, to prevent him from offloading assets after his drug conviction. With Promes finally back on Dutch soil, his first time facing the court in person after 10 missed hearings, attention turned to how his appeals would proceed. Appeal hearing and bail denial. Promes's long-awaited appeal process began with a preliminary hearing at the Amsterdam Court of Appeal on July 8, 2025. At this pro forma session, largely procedural, Promes appeared in person, notably his first courtroom appearance in the Netherlands, after having skipped numerous prior sessions while abroad. His defense made a vigorous plea for pretrial release, aiming to allow Promes to await the substantive appeal in freedom. Lawyer Tsempolat argued that Promes was not a flight risk despite his past evasion. He noted Promes had career opportunities lined up and would not hide. In fact, 2 football clubs had issued letters of intent offering to sign Promes if he were released pending appeal. One was Dubai United FC, the UAE second division team Promes played for last season, and the other an unnamed club in Latvia that competes in Europe. Polat even emphasized that Latvia has an extradition treaty, implying Promes could safely play there and be sent back if he lost the appeal. To reassure the court, the defense proposed conditions like surrendering Promes's passport, periodic check-ins, and even having him remain in the Netherlands, Benelux, to play for a local club. "My ambition is to return to the highest level," Promes himself told the judges, insisting he wouldn't jeopardize his career by absconding. "My location was always known. I was never on the run," he said, pointing out that he publicly celebrated goals and proudly posted every goal I scored while at Spartak Moscow. Promes argued that after his extradition, he had no reason to flee and simply wanted to stay fit for football. "Where I can get fit again is up to you," he appealed to the court, even mentioning a concrete offer from a club on the highest level, willing to help him maintain form. Despite these arguments, the appeal court decisively rejected Promes's release request. On July 8th, the court ruled there were sufficient reasons to keep him detained, explicitly citing the high flight risk. Judges noted that Promes faces a lengthy prison term if his convictions are upheld, and they highlighted his history. He had previously escaped justice by promptly moving to Russia in early 2021, right after being questioned in the stabbing case. That move put him beyond Dutch reach for years. Given this track record and the severity of the sentences, the court found it too risky to let him out, even with conditions. Consequently, Promes's pre-trial detention was extended, meaning he will remain behind bars in the Netherlands during the entire appeal process. This was a significant blow to the 33-year-old's hopes of reviving his playing career. As Dutch media noted, incarceration will likely derail any return to professional football. Indeed, the court's decision effectively ends Promes' 2025-26 season prospects, despite interest from clubs, and leaves his future in the sport in serious doubt. Appeals timeline: no trial until 2026. Another key development from the July 8th hearing is that Promes's appeal case won't be heard on its merits until 2026. The Amsterdam Appeals Court confirmed that no substantive hearings will take place in 2025, as the case is still in preparatory phases. The judges scheduled the next steps for 2026, delaying the actual trial of facts. This lengthy timeline is partly due to the complexity of the consolidated case. The appeal combines both the cocaine trafficking case and the stabbing case into one proceeding. There may also be additional evidence gathering. For instance, Promes's lawyers had earlier won the right to question several Belgian suspects involved in the Antwerp drug shipment. Those witness examinations and other motions take time. A court spokeswoman, Anja Zandbergen, told media on July 8th that there will be no content hearings this year. The trial is postponed, confirming that nothing beyond pre-trial sessions will occur until next year. In the meantime, Promes must remain in custody at least until 2026, when the appeal is expected to be heard, meaning he'll spend many months in jail before having a chance to fully argue his innocence. If his appeal ultimately fails, the combined 7.5-year sentence for the drug and assault convictions will stand, minus whatever time he will have already served by then. Statements and reactions. Promes and his defense. In the courtroom, Promes maintained a confident, if frustrated, stance. He repeated that he denies all wrongdoing and asserted his innocence in both the drug plot and the stabbing, which mirrors his ongoing legal appeals. His personal address to the judges, emphasizing his football ambitions and claiming he never truly fled, was an attempt to humanize his case, albeit one that failed to sway the court. His lawyer expressed disappointment at the ruling, but had essentially expected an uphill battle. He argued that Promes would be unable to pursue his career in hiding, implying his client has every incentive to stay legitimate and return for court dates. The defense also highlighted that multiple clubs want to know if a footballer can move freely, indicating significant interest in Promes should he be released. Nonetheless, the judges remained unmoved, pointing to the stark reality. Promes had proudly posted from abroad while Dutch courts summoned him, and only now, via extradition, was he brought to justice. Victim's side. The cousin whom Promes stabbed has not made new public statements since the extradition, but his attorney has previously voiced the victim's stance. Earlier in 2024, upon Promes's conviction for the assault, the victim expressed mixed feelings, glad for some justice, but frustrated at how long the process took. The victim's camp also pursued a civil claim for damages, reportedly seeking nearly €1 million in compensation. The attorney had commented that Promes should first compensate my client before asking any favors, such as avoiding detention. With Promes now actually behind bars in the Netherlands, it's likely the victim feels vindicated that he can no longer dodge responsibility. Dutch outlets noted the victim's frustration, seeing the suspect playing abroad while the case dragged on, a situation now resolved by Promes's arrest. The cousin and his lawyer are expected to attend the eventual appeal hearings. They even objected to any closed-door proceedings, arguing they should witness the case, which may be one reason Promes's team withdrew a request to bar outsiders from the courtroom. In short, the victim wants the case fully heard in open court and is awaiting the final outcome along with a decision on restitution. Media coverage and public interest. The Promes case has generated international headlines throughout summer 2025, confirming that there is substantial public interest in his downfall. Major outlets around the world reported his extradition and legal troubles. Reuters and AP News ran stories on June 20th detailing his extradition from Dubai and summarizing his convictions. They highlighted how Promes went from a national team winger to a convicted smuggler, emphasizing the rare spectacle of a top athlete entangled in organized crime. In the Netherlands, every development was closely covered by national media, often with reporters live tweeting from the courtroom. For example, Dutch crime reporter Wesley Meyer provided live updates during the July 8th hearing, noting Promes's offers from clubs and the expected long delay before the appeal is heard. The story also spread across sports media internationally. They recapped Promes's saga for football fans, underlining that a once promising player had effectively turned into a fugitive and now inmate. The narrative proved sensational enough that a documentary or drama series is being planned. Dutch producer Boudewijn Rozenmuller revealed that a TV series about Quincy Promes's case is under development, with filming potentially starting in autumn 2025. "We're still working on it. It's a complex project with many twists," Rozenmuller said, suggesting the series will cover Promes's rise and fall from Ajax youth prospect to Spartak superstar to his alleged underworld connections. This indicates the public appetite for the Promes story, as it encapsulates a true crime crossover with sports fame. Indeed, one independent article dubbed it "the curious case of the Dutch international turned drug smuggler," noting how Premier League clubs once chased Promes, and now Dutch police pursued him more intensely than any transfer scout. Once a national team winger, now a convicted felon behind bars. The Quincy Promes case is no longer just a courtroom drama. It's a global spectacle that blends football, violence, organized crime, and international law. As the world watches and the appeal looms in 2026, one thing is clear: this story isn't over yet. If you want to stay up to date on the most shocking cases in sports and crime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be watching the Promes appeal closely. And we'll be back with the next twist, because this saga is far from finished. This was Dutch Crime Files.